Good morning. Welcome to the press conference of the Publicity Department of the Central Committee of the CPC. Today, we have the 7th session of China's achievement over the past decade, focusing on progress and accelerating the building of China's strength in transport in the new era. We're pleased to have Vice Minister of Transport, Mr. Xu Chengguang, Vice Administrator of the National Railway Administration, Mr. An Lusheng, Vice Administrator of the Civil Aviation Administration, Mr. Dong Zhiyi, and Deputy Director General of the State Post Bureau, Mr. Dai Yingjun. Mr. Xu, please. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, good morning. It is my pleasure to see you all here today. First of all, I'd like to thank you for your long-standing care and support for transport. Today, along with my colleagues Lu Sheng, Zhiyi, and Dai Yingjun, I'd like to brief you on the development of China's transport over the past decade. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC, the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, has attached great importance to transport and made important instructions multiple times. In particular, the report of the 19th National Congress of the CPC put forth the building of China's strength in transport, pointing the direction for the development of transport in the new era. The CPC Central Committee and the State Council have released the outline for building China's strength in transport and the National Comprehensive Three-Dimensional Transport Network Planning Outline, charting the strategic blueprint and the bright prospects of the development of transport in the mid to long term. Last October, at the second United Nations Global Sustainable Transport Conference, General Secretary Xi Jinping pointed out that generation after generation of Chinese people have worked in the spirit of opening roads through mountains and putting bridges over rivers and turned China into a country with vast transport infrastructure. Today, we are redoubling our efforts to build a country with great transport strength. Transport has become a frontier in China's modernization drive. General Secretary Xi Jinping has pointed the new goal for us and given us a new historic mission in the work of transport. Over the past decade, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee and the State Council, we have achieved historic accomplishments and seen historic transformation in the transport industry. We've been able to accomplish things that we wanted to but weren't able to in the past. And we have built a great deal of key projects that we wanted to build but weren't able to in the past. We have achieved historic leap in the strength of transport and effectively served the realization of the first centenary goal. Over the past decade, our country's comprehensive three-dimensional transport network has developed at an accelerated pace, serving the smooth circulation, domestic and international. We have built the world's largest high-speed railway network, expressway network, and world-class port clusters. We have opened air and sea routes that reach all parts of the world. We have set up an integrated transport network. China's expressway, roads, bridge, ports, and express delivery have become signatures. Our large-scale and smooth integrated network have served the operation of our economy, the second largest in the world, as well as the largest trader in goods. Transport has reduced the distance between people and accelerated the movement of goods and people. It has transformed the face of urban and rural areas and boosted the integrated development of rural and urban areas. It has served smooth domestic circulation and made important contributions to the world economy. Over the past decade, our integrated transport service capacity has greatly improved. The people have a greater sense of fulfillment. Passenger and cargo turnover via railway, highway, water transport, and civil aviation, cargo throughput of ports, and business volume of express delivery, among others, have ranked among the top in the world for many years straight. We have one of the busiest transport scenarios in the world. According to 2021 statistics, on average, more than 69,000 ships enter and leave ports every day. 26,800 planes land and take off. Nearly 300 million pieces of express mail are handled, and at the peak, more than 10,000 passenger trains run on railways, and more than 60 million cars run on expressways every day. Easier movement of people and smoother flow of goods have been achieved, and transport has provided people with the greatest sense of fulfillment among all the sectors. Over the past decade, we are seeing greater vibrancy in the industry. The fundamental, pioneering, and strategic role of transport have been given full play, which has provided strong underpinning for the implementation of China's strategies. We have worked to ensure tarmac and cement roads and passenger vehicles for eligible townships and administrative villages, and delivered on our solemn commitment that no place will be left behind on the road to moderate prosperity due to transport issues. We have effectively served the critical battle of poverty alleviation and the implementation of the rural revitalization strategy. The Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region, the Guangdong-Hong Kong-Macau Greater Bay Area, and the Yangtze River Delta now enjoy regional networks of transport, serving the development of regional coordinated development. Investment in fixed assets have been kept at a high level. Last year, we have scored a historic high of 3.6 trillion yuan, which has played an important role in keeping the economy stable and ensuring stability on 6 fronts and guaranteeing 6 important areas. We have served to link China with the world and to keep China abreast with the times in order to better serve high-quality Belt and Road development. During COVID-19, while ensuring coordinated COVID-19 containment efforts, we have worked to keep logistics smooth and secure. The China-Europe Railway Express and the ocean-going cargo vessels have been running day and night to ensure smooth operation of industrial and supply chains. As we embark on a new journey, we will continue to be guided by the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, and continue to forge ahead in building China's strength in transport and serving as a pioneer of China's modernization drive. So much for my introductory remarks. Now, I'd like to invite my 3 colleagues to make some remarks on railway, civil aviation, and post. Thank you.
My friends from the media, good morning. I'll brief you on the development of China's railway sector. After the 18th CPC Congress, China's railway administration firmly follows the Xi Jinping thought on socialism for a new era, implements decisions and plans made by the Party Central Committee and the State Council, and made historical strides. In the past decade, China's railway network is improved. The fixed asset investment in railway industry exceeded 7 trillion RMB yuan. 52,000 kilometer rails are under construction. By year-end 2021, 150,000 kilometers railway are in operation. Among them, 40,000 kilometers are high-speed railway. 81.6% counties are covered by rail services, and high-speed rail services is available in 93.8% cities with 500,000 population and more. We have put in place a well-structured, extensive, safe, and efficient railway network. In the past decade, quality of our services improved. China's railway ranked first in the world in terms of passenger turnover, freight volume, freight turnover, and transport density. The railway operated safely and continued to be a low-carbon means of transport. Passenger services improved significantly. The Fuxing high-speed train service covers all 31 provinces and municipalities. Innovative measures are introduced, such as buying tickets and choosing seats online, and the use of e-tickets. Thus, traveling is now more convenient and comfortable for the people. Freight capacity grew. In 2021, freight volume reached 4.774 billion tons, up by 22.3% from 2012. We were able to address the bottleneck in rail transportation, and our efforts in switching from highway freight transportation to railway paid off. This has helped to conserve strategic resources such as thermal coal. In the past decade, the technology level of equipment manufacturing improved. Railway equipment is updated. The Fuxing product line covers various speed ranges and operation environments. China's smart high-speed train runs at 350 km per hour on autopilot, a world-leading achievement. China's overall technology level in railway is among the highest in the world, with IPR-protected rail construction, equipment manufacturing technologies. In the past decade, reform in the rail sector made new headway. Government and enterprises are separated in the rail administration, regulation is improved, and government function is further streamlined. Investment and financing structure has been improved, with local governments and social capital having more shares. The state-owned railway enterprises completed reform of its cooperative system and made important steps toward law-based and market-oriented corporate governance. In the past decade, international cooperation flourished. To serve the Belt and Road Initiative, China-Laos Railway, Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway, Mombasa-Nairobi Railway opened to traffic. Jakarta-Bandung Railway construction is proceeding as planned. China's railway technology and equipment exported to more than 100 countries and regions around the world, and more than 150 items of technical standards are published in foreign languages. China-Europe Railway Express covers 185 cities in 23 European countries, making it a highlight of BRI. Going forward, we'll continue to serve important strategies of China and continue to center our efforts around people, implement the new development philosophy, and promote high-quality development of China's rail sector. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, just now, my colleague Chen Guang has briefed you on the development of transport since the 18th National Congress of the CPC, and now I will make some supplementary remarks on civil aviation from the following four aspects. First, the scale of civil aviation transport has grown rapidly. Over the past decade, civil aviation has seen a total of 82 airports built or relocated, with airports now totaling 250. More than 3,000 new routes have been added, with the total reaching 5,581. China's passenger traffic has ranked among the top 2 in the world for 18 consecutive years. In 2019, the total civil aviation transport turnover and passenger traffic exceeded twice that of 2012, and cargo and mail traffic 1.3 times that of 2012. The aviation service network covers 92% of the country's prefecture-level administrative units, 88% of the population, and 93% of the total economic volume. Second, The level of service in civil aviation has improved markedly. The flight normalcy rate has increased by 13.17 percentage points compared with 2012, exceeding 80% for 4 consecutive years. A service model covering main routes and connecting all points of the network has been implemented to promote flight services covering the entire journey and tap into the potential market demand in 3rd and 4th tier cities. And passenger throughput of central and western airports in China has increased from 36.5% in 2012 to 45.2% in 2021. 47 new transport airports have been built in poverty or poor or remote areas. And it has covered a population of 83.6% in areas that have just gotten rid of poverty. That's 13 percentage points more than 2012. Third, the strategic underpinning provided by civil aviation has been accentuated. In the past 10 years, the share of civil aviation passenger turnover in integrated transport has grown 18 percentage points to 33.1%. Serving the major strategies of China's regional development, we have promoted the building of airport clusters in the Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei, the Yangtze River Delta, the Greater Bay Area, and the Chengdu, Chongqing area. The 4 major airport clusters have taken shape. At present, we have built in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Chengdu, Xi'an, and other totaling 10 cities, such clusters. We have a modern airport network comprising 29 hubs. We have also signed bilateral aviation agreements with many countries and opened up 895 routes. We have, with 62 countries and 123 cities, multiple international flights and routes. As we speak, we have around 5,000 international cargo flights per week, reaching 123 cities in 52 countries around the world, which has served to stabilize the industrial and supply chains. We have also taken the initiative in serving the Belt and Road construction. We have signed bilateral air transport agreements with 100 countries participating in the Belt and Road and maintained regular passenger and cargo flights with 64 countries. That accounts for more than 60% of the total number of international flights of China. Fourth, new models of business have prospered in this industry. We have built nearly 80 airport economic zones, among which 17 are national airport economic demonstration zones. Our sector has served a leading role in the improvement and upgrading of industrial structure. Our business has maintained rapid growth with an average annual flight hour growth rate of 12.5%. Airports for general aviation, 339. 3,045 general aviation aircraft, and around 830,000 registered drones. Annual flight time at the level of 10 million hours. It's fair to say that aviation has become a new growth point for China's economic development. Going forward, we will continue to earnestly implement the important instructions of General Secretary Xi Jinping on our work and continue to follow the strategic guidance of the CPC Central Committee and the State Council in achieving greater progress and stick to coordinating development and security. We will step up risk management and pursue steady and sustained development. We will work for greater civil aviation strength in the new era. Thank you.
My friends from the media, good morning. Now I will brief you on China's post and express delivery. After the 18th Party Congress, the National Post Bureau adhered to the Xi Jinping thoughts on socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era, studies and implements earnestly General Secretary Xi Jinping's important instructions on the post and express delivery sector, conscientiously implement the Party Central Committee and the State Council's decisions and plans, and made all-out efforts to deepen the supply-side structural reform and to ensure a smooth socio-economic cycle. As a result, the postal and express delivery sector has grown significantly and became fully modernized, capable of meeting the demand for a moderately prosperous society. First, the foundation for development has been cemented. We have built a nationwide postal network, accessible in rural areas and extends to the wider world. Our capacity for high-speed railway and air delivery continue to expand. The application of unmanned warehouses, vehicles, drones, and other intelligent facilities are expedited, and our maximum parcel capacity reached nearly 700 million per day. Second, public services continue to optimize. Postal service has become widely accessible. During the 12th five-year plan period, we built 8,440 post offices in town not covered by such services. By the end of the 13th five-year plan, all villages had access to mail. Express delivery network basically realized full coverage of towns and villages, and the coverage rate of courier services in villages exceeded 80%, and annual parcel volume per capita reached 76.7. User satisfaction stood at a high level. Third, governance capacity continued to improve. We introduced the amendment of the postal law and interim regulations on express delivery sector and accelerated the making of plans, policies, and standards in this area. We deepened the reform of government functions, optimized the business environment, and stimulated the vitality of market entities. Safety oversight has been improved, and protection of the rights and interests of primary level workers is strengthened, and soft power of this sector is improved. Fourth, the industry on the whole is gaining influence. In the past decade, revenue of the sector went up from 198 billion to 1.26 trillion RMB yuan, marking an average annual growth of 22.9%, and its share in national GDP went up from 0.37% to 1.11%. Parcel volume increased from 5.7 billion to 108.3 billion, ranking first in the world for 8 years straight. The postal express industry has played an important role in serving major national strategies to fight the COVID-19 pandemic and ensure the stability of industrial and supply chains. So much for my introduction. Thank you. Now, I'll give the floor to questions. Please announce your affiliation before raising questions. CCTV. After the 18th CPC Congress, we have built and put in place many key transportation infrastructure that has ensured this economic development. So I want to ask you about the three-dimensional transportation network.
Thank you for your question. Transport infrastructure provides important physical foundation for our party's governance. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, we have stuck to the principle of front-loading as appropriate and steadily increased our input in transport infrastructure, achieving market results. First, the comprehensive three-dimensional transport network has been improved. We have accelerated the development of 8 major north-south routes and 8 major east-west routes of high-speed railway, the 7-11-18 National Expressway network, and world-class airport clusters. The comprehensive network has exceeded 6 million kilometers. Between 2012 and the end of 2021, railway, highway, and waterways have seen 1.1 million more kilometers. That's equivalent to 27.5 rounds around the equator. High-speed railway and expressway have covered more than 95% of cities with a population of over 200,000. Second, the ability of infrastructure to serve our national strategies have been enhanced. We have accelerated the development of the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region on rail and developed a transport network corridor in the Yangtze Economic Belt. We have realized 1-hour commute between the Greater Bay Area, between the mainland and the Hong Kong-Macau area, and accelerated the development of a shipping hub connecting the Yangtze River Delta to the world, and achieved a grand channel in the Yellow River region, as well as enhanced integration of the Chengdu-Chongqing Twin City Economic Circle. Third, we've accelerated the upgrading of transport infrastructure. Digitalization has been enhanced, and Expressway has seen a network covering all areas of the country. The digital Waterway has covered the trunks of the Yangtze River and the Xijiang River. Core technologies such as sea bridges, undersea tunnels, and deep water routes have been enhanced and are now among the best in the world. This April, General Secretary Xi Jinping chaired the 11th session of the Central Economic and Financial Affairs Commission, which studied the enhancement of infrastructure development. The session pointed the way forward for the development of a comprehensive integrated transport network. We will continue to follow through on the important instructions of General Secretary Xi Jinping and earnestly implement the 2 outlines that I mentioned just now. We will continue to strengthen the network and all the links and work to advance the building of a modernized and high-quality transport network. First, we will work to build a highly efficient backbone of national comprehensive three-dimensional transport network comprising 6 axes, 7 corridors, and 8 channels, and work for a multi-tiered integrated system of transport hubs. We will ensure smooth artery of our highly efficient integrated transport. Second, we will boost the infrastructure of key regions to serve our national strategies, with a focus on the revolutionary bases, the ethnic-centrated regions, the remote areas, and the rural areas. Third, we will work to ensure secure and reliable logistics supply chains, to ensure smooth logistics and enhance the building of a supply system of international cross-border logistics. Fourth, we will work for the digital transformation and smart elevation of infrastructure and enhance its integrated development with energy, hydrology information, and other areas. As we speak, we are continuing our work on supporting projects of Sichuan-Tibet Railway and Highway, the Big Channel from Xinjiang to Tibet, the Pinglu Canal, the container terminal at the north side of Xiaoyangshan Island, and the Ningbo Zhoushan port and shipping facilities and comprehensive transport hub, following the principle of front-loading as appropriate. These are strategic major projects and provide key and strong guarantee for keeping investment stable, boosting demand, and serving the fundamentals of our economy. Thank you. Next question, please. Cover. Over the past 10 years, a number of airports, including the Beijing Daxing International Airport and the Chengdu Tianhe Airport, have been built. They are an important part of civil aviation infrastructure. My question is, what will civil aviation do in infrastructure going forward? And what can we expect? Thank you. Well, thank you for your question. Since the 18th National Congress, China's civil aviation has closely followed our national strategies and regional coordinated development strategies and continued to boost the development of infrastructure. In the past 10 years, the accumulated investment in fixed assets of civil aviation has reached 800 billion yuan. In the recent 2 years, the investment has exceeded 100 billion each year. That's a historic high. During this period, 67 new transport airports have been built and 15 relocated. The number of transport airports have reached 250. We have 84 new runways, 8 million square meters of terminal buildings, and 3,000 airplane slots were added. The total design capacity of airports nationwide exceeded 1.4 billion, and the problem of capacity shortage have been effectively alleviated. At the same time, we have stepped up the construction of a modern integrated transportation hub with airports at the core, and the rail access rate of hub airports has reached 71.4%. We have built world-leading centers, namely Civil Aviation Operation Management Center, Meteorological Center, and Intelligence Management Center. And the service capacity has been significantly improved. We have built civil aviation safety test bases and science and technology demonstration zones. Our scientific research and innovation capacity have been greatly enhanced. In the 14th five-year plan period, we are at a critical stage of moving to strengthen civil aviation on multiple fronts. We will work to break the bottlenecks of resource restraint and focus our efforts on enhancing quality and efficiency. We will give rise to the synergy and of all the areas in building a world-class infrastructure system. First, we will accelerate the building of a modernized national comprehensive airport system with a focus on building hubs and improving the non-hubs. We will work to improve the quality and efficiency of existing infrastructure and build transport hubs. We will continue to increase the supply of high-quality infrastructure and break the bottlenecks and restraints in an effort to boost the high-quality development of China's comprehensive airport system. Second, we will work to enhance air traffic control service. We will focus our efforts on strengthening the provision of key resources and capacity in air traffic control, increase its efficiency, as well as the capacity of mid- and small-sized airports, with a focus on digitalization. Third, we will step up the provision of science-related facilities. We will focus on key leading projects in the which are highly advanced in technology, and boost our education facilities. We will step up training of professionals. Fourth, we will boost the development of new types of infrastructure. Following the main theme of smart civil aviation for the 14th five-year plan period, we will step up the implementation of the roadmap for building smart aviation, with the goal of enhancing digital sensing, data-based decision-making, targeted management, etc. We will consolidate the base for building a modern civil aviation transport system and foster new types of businesses, services, etc. This year is an important year in the implementation of the 14th five-year plan. We, in the civil aviation service, will increase investment in fixed assets and push forward the building of key projects in airports, air traffic control, and science and education. In the first 5 months, our investment in fixed assets have reached 34.32 billion. That's a 6.6% increase year on year. So I'd say we are off to a good start. Thank you. Next question, please. With Pengpai News. General Secretary Xi Jinping made important instructions on building, managing, maintaining, and operating rural roads well in 2014, 16, and 17. What has the Ministry of Transport done in this regard? And I understand that new instructions have been made on the building of rural roads. How will they be implemented? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Better building, managing, maintaining and operating rural highways is an important initiative headed by General Secretary Xi Jinping himself. It is a livelihood project that has done a lot to develop the industry and bring prosperity to rural China, especially the poverty-stricken areas. It is also an initiative to promote common prosperity and common development between cities and rural areas. Since the 18th CPC Congress, the MOT has earnestly implemented on President Xi Jinping's important instructions on rural highways and made continuous efforts to promote construction and maintenance of these highways. Our efforts have produced 4 outcomes. First, a network of rural highways has taken shape. In the past decade, the Party Central Committee invested 743.3 billion RMB yuan in rural highways, and 506.8 billion of it was in poverty-stricken areas. We built and renovated 2.53 million kilometers of highways, paved roads in 1,040 townships and 105,000 villages. The total length of rural highway went up from 3.56 million kilometers in year-end 2011 to 4.46 million kilometers by year-end 2021. Second, better maintenance has been in place. We have appointed road chiefs for towns and counties and villages. By year-end 2021, the rate of roads become paved, regularly maintained, and in sound condition stood at 89.8%, 99.5%, and 87.4% respectively. Third, transportation services is enhanced. Bus is available in more than 50,000 villages, and all villages that meet certain conditions have bus stops. Buses are becoming readily available for people. The level of integrated bus, truck, and mail services has become increased in rural areas. Fourth, transport helped poverty reduction in rural areas. With the development of e-commerce, the flow of people, goods, capital are starting to flow in both ways between urban and rural areas. Urban goods made their way to rural areas, and so is the other way around. And this has promoted a prosperity in China's countryside. 774,000 jobs are added because of highway transportation, with an annual income of 13,000 per job. And this job lifted 381,000 people out of poverty. In the past decade, this initiative has transformed the countryside and brought about prosperity to these regions. Going forward, the Ministry of Transportation will continue to implement the decisions and plans of Party Central Committee and the State Council and follow up on this initiative. After reaching the target as planned, we will start a new round of rural road construction and renovation. We plan to renovate another 30,000 kilometers of rural highways and carry out safety protection project on another 30,000 kilometers of roads and renovate 3,000 run-down bridges in rural areas so as to provide better transportation guarantee and provide better transportation conditions for China's rural revitalization drive. And this will provide a better safeguard for achieving common prosperity. Thank you. Next question, please. In the recent decade, postal services are being used more frequently. I wish to ask, what has postal services done in promoting consumption? And
thank you for your question. The postal system is an important strategic infrastructure for our country. It has played a positive role in serving production, boosting consumption, and smoothing circulation. First, it has provided effective underpinning for ensuring convenience for the people and for the businesses. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC Central Committee, we have ensured that every village has a postal hub and every village has mail. It has ensured the needs of our country to keep policies well informed and to serve the needs of the people. It has also served poverty alleviation and rural revitalization. At present, the total length of China's postal routes is more than 10 million kilometers. The total length of express service network, more than 40 million kilometers, with 413,000 postal and express business outlets. Extensive coverage of the network provide important safeguard for building a large nationwide unified market. Second, we have achieved alignment of the different industries and integrated development. In integrated development with modern agriculture, we have fostered more than 1,000 projects to help specialty agricultural products enter cities through our service. In areas including Suqian of Jiangsu Province, Liuzhou of Guangxi, Rizhao of Shandong, they have specialty products, food, fruits that our people enjoy are now able to reach broader areas due to our postal services. We have different types of fruits in different regions of China, such as the cherries, the kiwis. If you're interested, you can go online and look at the map of our specialty agricultural products. They're very good. In our integrated development with manufacturing, we have achieved streamlined models to enhance the capacity of supply chains. So I'd say that the postal service has become an accelerator of the flow of goods and a main channel for e-commerce businesses. Now our support for brick and mortar as well as retail sales have exceeded 10 trillion yuan. Third, we are everywhere. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC, we have enhanced digitization, automation, and our smart services have been improved. We have lowered costs and achieved economies of scale. We have provided a boost to the development of e-commerce and made life much more convenient for the people as they shop online. Express delivery has become part of life, and it is also an important symbol of the smooth circulation of China's economy. As you all know, express delivery is a key indicator of whether we have smooth circulation. Fourth, the dual circulations have been provided with a reliable and channel. We have boosted the express delivery businesses' capacity to go global and enhanced the building of a cross-border network. We have built internationalized hubs for express delivery and are making our active contributions to safe global supply chains and the development of the new development paradigm. Next question, please. You've just mentioned that railway now covers 81% of counties in China. My question is, how has it played its role in fostering a new development paradigm, and what will you do to boost high-quality development of railway going forward? Thank you for your question. As an artery of the national economy, we in the railway have borne in mind the fundamental interests of the country and played our backbone and pioneering role. We have effectively boosted the implementation of national strategies and the development of the economy and society. First, we have accelerated the construction of our network of roads to serve poverty alleviation and rural revitalization. In particular, we have built better roads for the mid and western parts of China, as well as regions that just got out of poverty. At the end of 2021, there were 23,000 more kilometers of railways for the western region than in 2012. By improving the layout of key regional railway networks, including the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region, the Yangtze River Delta, the Greater Bay Area, and the Chengdu-Chongqing Twin City Economic Circle, we have built city clusters on rail. We have served Belt and Road construction. We have operated a series of railways connecting different countries, boosting the cross-border or trans-border railway development projects. We have also promoted the building of a new land-sea trade corridor. Over the past decade, we have built the 4 major north, south, and east-west routes and are stepping up the formation of the 8 major northwest and north, south, and east-west routes in serving the key national strategies. Second, we have enhanced capacity and provided service for the sound development of the economy and society. Each year, around 80% of our capacity are for shipping coal, food, oil, fertilizers, and other goods that bear on the development of the country and the well-being of the people. We have been able to ship cold chain and containers as we work to form a highly efficient logistics system to better serve the needs of the people. I'd also like to mention the China-Europe Rail, which has run 55,000 trips, serving to ensure the smooth circulation of our industrial supply chains in foreign trade and making a positive contribution to domestic and international circulations. Third, we have improved the transport service to meet the needs of the consumers. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC, the number of railroad passenger trains has increased by 1.4 times, solving the problem of severe shortage during peak periods. In 2021, the high-speed trains have carried 73.6% of all passengers. The people are now able to not only travel, but also travel better. We have boosted our public welfare transport services. The slow trains are able to deliver benefits to people along the route. You can see China through the high-speed trains. This is a vivid demonstration of our people's safe and happy travels. Going forward, we will continue to work on the following three fronts. First, we will advance the building of railroads in a science-based and orderly manner. We'll improve the 8 major routes, north, south, and east-west, and optimize the layout of our network. We will build intercity rails in an effort to foster an integrated, comprehensive transportation hub. Second, we will boost the capacity of transport, improve the layout of passenger cargo shipping, and improve the design of railroads. We'll continue to enhance the digitization and smart services of our transport. Third, we will boost safe production and deepen the environmental governance along the railways to ensure sustained security and safety. Next question, please. With CNBC. This year, we have seen some accidents take place in civil aviation and railway, which haven't happened for many years. What are the reasons and what will you do? Thank you for your interest in transport safety. I'd like to have my colleague talk about civil aviation safety. First of all, thank you for your question. The MU-5735 aircraft had an accident on March 21st. In accordance with relevant laws and regulations and the Convention on International Civil Aviation, our administration has began our investigation. And on April 20th, we informed the public of our preliminary findings. At present, our team is looking into the remnants as well as the material evidence. They're also conducting experiments. Going forward, we will, in accordance with laws and regulations, release our findings in a timely and accurate fashion. Since the March 21st incident occurred, we at the Civil Aviation Administration immediately embarked on an inspection upon ourselves in terms of our thinking, team building, compliance with regulations, management chain, and service capacity. We have earnestly followed through on the instructions of the leading officials of the CPC Central Committee and the State Council on Civil Aviation Safety, and studied and implemented the instructions made at the National Safe Production televised meeting. We have worked to implement the decisions of the State Council and engaged in a special campaign to identify and diffuse the major risks in our service and industry. Recently, we have begun an operation on safety whistleblowers across the industry with the goal of letting all employees play a greater supervising role in civil aviation safety. We want them to be able to report on the safety hazards so that we can better identify the risks more promptly and address them. Safety is our bloodline. We will continue to put people front and center and put their lives first in stepping up civil aviation safety across the board and take proactive efforts to prevent risks and hazards to ensure the absolute safety of civil aviation and the absolute safety of our people. Thank you again for your question. I'd like to have my colleague, Mr. An Lushen, make some remarks too. On June 4th at 10:22, the train D2809 from Guiyang to Guangzhou was derailed as it was entering the Yuezhai Tunnel. That led to 2 attendants and 10 passengers getting injured and 1 driver losing his life. We are deeply aggrieved by the incident. After it occurred, we promptly activated our emergency response mechanism. Along with the local authorities and the people, we have engaged in rescue operations and follow-up work, going all out. We have found, through preliminary examination, that the cause of the incident is the rain and torrential rain that led to a mudslide, which caused the derailment of the 7th and 8th cabin of the train. After the incident occurred, we engaged in a safety inspection immediately. Right now, we are working to locate the safety hazards of the key routes and tunnels and have stepped up monitoring and patrol at the key routes. Meanwhile, we have stepped up disaster alert and improved our information report and notification system. We have worked with the public security authorities to build a safe information platform and ensure the security and safety of the passengers. Thank you. Next question, please. We understand that waterway transport is an important part of our comprehensive transport network, and in recent years, we have seen automated ports and successful rescue operations? What are the developments, and what will you do next? Thank you. In our comprehensive transport system, waterway transport has the comparative advantage of shipping large volumes at low costs with low energy intensity. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, has provided strong guidance for us as we work to build up our strength in waterway transport. First, we have accelerated the improvement of our infrastructure system. The overall scale has remained first in the world. As of the end of 2021, the navigable mileage of inland waterways nationwide was 128,000 kilometers, including more than 16,000 kilometers of high-grade waterways, ranking first in the world, with 21,000 berths for production. 2,659 berths of 10,000 tons and above. We have developed the Yangtze River Delta, the Tianjin-Hebei, the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, and other world-class port groups. Economic zones and city clusters relying on the trunk waterways and port groups have become the most dynamic regions in our country. Second, the scale and structure of transport capacity has continued to enhance. We have 126,000 transport vessels with net carrying capacity of 284 million tons. We have 2.884 million TEUs of containers, and that carry 858,000 passengers. We have seen accelerated development of vessel massification, specialization, and standardization. The scale of our shipping fleet capacity has reached 350 million deadweight tons, ranking second in the world. We have a registered crew of 1.8 million people, with an annual dispatch of 140,000, ranking steadily in the forefront of the world. Third, our service and security capacity has steadily increased. Among the top 10 ports in the world in terms of cargo throughput and container throughput, China accounts for 8 and 7 seats respectively, among which the Shanghai, Ningbo, Zhoushan, and Shenzhen ports have ranked among the top in the world for many years straight. In terms of the efficiency of port facilities, the average operation time of China is indeed provides a better record than that of other countries. For instance, according to our estimates, the period of time that our containers are at the ports are merely 1.9, 1.8, and 1.04 days. That's much lower than the average figure of 3.3 days and 2.4 days of the world. In addition, we have 10 automated terminals built and 8 under construction, putting us at the top of the world. The Shanghai Yangshan Deepwater Port Phase 4 terminal is the world's largest and most automated container terminal in the world, with independent intellectual property rights. Since COVID-19, water transport logistics supply chain has been kept steady and smooth, ensuring that goods can be exported and imported, making our contribution to secure global industrial and supply chains. Fourth, the safe development has continued to be improved. We are committed to putting people and their lives first. We have engaged in special governance operations, and we are, in terms of incidents, casualties, sunken ships, and economic loss, as well as other indicators, we're doing far better than 10 years ago. We're seeing 52.5% less, 48% less, 73% less, and 51% less, respectively. We also have much better emergency response and rescue capacity. Over the past several years, we have appropriately dealt with a series of incidents, including sunken passenger ships, explosion, etc. We have engaged in the rescue of passenger ship at the ROK, showcasing our responsibility as a major country. Going forward, we will continue to coordinate development and security with a focus on enhancing the resilience of safe waterway transport and boost our efficiency in providing services. We will enhance the dynamics and achieve mutually beneficial cooperation with a view to strengthening waterway transport. Next question, please. We've noticed that in the development plan for civil aviation for the 14th five-year plan period, smart civil aviation has been an main theme. What are the considerations behind it? What are the goals and key areas, and what will you do to promote smart civil aviation?
It is a very relevant question. As we know, rapid development of ICTs and smart technology has ushered in a new round of technology and industrial transformation. Many emerging technologies are being applied, and they are reshaping the face of civil aviation industry as a whole. To China's civil aviation, we need to engage a people-centered view, and we need to engage that in aircraft manufacturing, airline operation, air traffic control, and ground control. We also need to apply that perspective in management, organization, and providing our services, and explore a new way of smart development. On the basis of researching the future trends, we put forward smart civil aviation as the focus of the 14th five-year plan period. Our goal is to build a smart civil aviation system for acute sensoring, intelligence, and coordination that is open and shared by all, to promote a deep-going transformation of the civil aviation sector. We aim to make it more secure, safe, effective, efficient, and more improved. This January, we introduced a roadmap for building a smart civil aviation industry. And in that roadmap, we proposed smart traveling, smart air control, smart airports, and smart supervision. As for main topics, we aim to promote efficient security check, customs control, flight connection in our airports while ensuring comfort of the passengers. We took on a systematic, detail-oriented, and smart perspective in air control services to enhance coordination between airports, to enhance our services, to pursue automation and digitalization of maintenance, and to build a digital governing platform. To promote the coordinated development of industries, we aim to combine civil aviation and the digitalization industry and advanced manufacturing, low-carbon production, and new technologies such as 5G telecommunication, the Beidou GPS system, big data, and artificial intelligence, so as to integrate the industrial chain of advanced manufacturing, of equipments, maintenance of such equipments, and operation. Currently, our efforts have paid off in such areas as institutional guarantee, top design, standards making, and pilot zones. For example, 234 airports nationwide are providing paperless travel options. They're making their security checks more efficient and convenient, and they're networking the RFID luggage location system. Through empowering the civil aviation industry through smart technologies, we were able to enhance the quality of our services. Going forward, the Civil Aviation Administration will continue our efforts in a four-pronged way. First, we will continue to implement the roadmap and apply these technologies in specific projects. Second, we will enhance R&D in the key links and key technologies to address the bottleneck problems. Third, we will enhance our ability to manage data and introduce better standards so as to empower this status. And fourth, we will build a better talent team and nurture talent that is capable of the future trends. Thank you again for your question. Any further questions? My question is about China's postal service. We have now built a postal service system that fits the needs of a moderate, prosperous society. But what are the gaps in this area? And what are the measures that you intend to introduce to address these gaps? Thank you for your question. After many years of development, we have made certain achievements in this area, but we need to be clear-eyed about the imbalance and inadequate of the growth of China's postal services. They come down to inadequate development quality, and its manifestations are: first, we need to enhance our basic capacity, such as comprehensive logistics, cross-border postal services, and national strategic infrastructure. Second, we need to enhance the quality of services. A number of enterprises and businesses are not offering detail-oriented services. and they are on the downstream of the value chain. The third, we need to enhance our governance capacity. Currently, the governance capacity is not fitted to the sheer scale of the industry itself. Going forward, the National Postal Service will continue to follow the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, and bear in mind people's need for a better life. We intend to introduce these measures. First, we plan to build a network of high-capacity postal hubs and step up coordination of these hubs with transportation hubs. We intend to expedite the building of a cross-border postal network so as to better handle parcels in China and cross-borders as well. We intend to build more parcel sorting centers and build more smart delivery facilities and promote infrastructure in central and western China. Second, we intend to improve the quality of our services and introduce multi-tiered services and increase the category of our products. We need to enhance the pricing of delivery products and offer more detailed services, such as the changing of addresses and the time of the delivery. And we intend to use drones, unmanned vehicles to promote no-contact delivery. Third, we will step up governance. We will continue to oversee this sector in accordance with the law and step up law and regulation making in this area. With the coordination of different departments, we will step up oversight and regulation at all links and step up information release to the public to step up the quality of governance and oversight in the postal services. During the 14th five-year plan, I believe you will see a better postal service. In the interest of time, two more questions. High-speed railway is China's signature and is another successful example of China's homegrown innovations. Could you please tell me what are the technological outcomes, innovation outcomes of China's railway? Thank you for your questions. In recent years, China's rail sector has done a lot and explored a path of innovation. We promoted the innovation and R&D of key technologies and their application, and we were successful in that effort. In some areas, we lead the world, and these innovations has undergirded China's growth in terms of its railway sector. First, China's equipment technology is world-leading. We were able to develop the Fuxing train, which China owns its entire IPR. Beijing-Zhangjiakou Railway realized 350 km per hour autopilot operation for the first time in the world. And we were successful in manufacturing 600 km per hour high-speed maglev transport system, 400 km per hour variable gauge high-speed train units, and 350 km per hour high-speed freight train. Second, our innovation of technologies is very comprehensive. We are capable of real construction in complex environments. And we've mastered a range of technologies in heavy-duty rail building and super wide-range bridges. Such technologies has enabled us to build a wide-ranging, extensive rail network. Third, our ability to ensure safety has enhanced. We're able to conduct traffic control in a high-density cross-line network of high-speed trains and ensure a world-leading transport density and on-time rate. Going forward, in terms of innovation, the railway administration will make efforts in 4 areas. First is to enhance our survey and design capability in order to build a railway in complex and difficult landscape. Second, we intend to increase the speed of smart high-speed trains, step up R&D of modern equipment, and innovate a state-of-the-art equipment. The third, we intend to promote integration of Beidou GPS, 5G telecommunication systems with the rail factor. And fourth, we will address the problem of pollution and waste in the rail services. So much for my answer. Thank you. Last question, please. It can be said that traffic has to do with every aspect of people's lives. In the past decade, what has the MOT done in terms of enhancing service quality and bettering people's lives? Thank you for your question. Logistics and traffic is indeed a livelihood issue. It has to do with economic growth and consumption promotion. It has to do with every aspect of the average person's life. After this 18th CPC Congress, the transportation sector has taken a people-centered view and focused its efforts on economic growth and people's livelihood. Our efforts are as follows. First, we have enhanced our service capacity. By year-end 2021, passenger volume reached 8.303 billion, and the freight volume reached 52.16 billion tons. Among that, 2.53 billion people were traveling on high-speed railway. The density of the traffic networks reached 55.01 km per 100 square kilometers, up by 24.6% compared to a decade ago. 95% of foreign trade are conducted via sea, and China's seagoing freight takes up 2/3 of the global total. Second, we have made transportation services more inclusive. We promoted integration of urban and rural transportation through providing bus services between cities, in towns and villages, so that more and more rural residents have access to equal transportation services as urban residents. In 2021, the satisfaction for bus ranks the first in all forms of public transport. Third, we have worked to make transportation services more effective and convenient. By year-end 2021, 51 cities in China have made metro transportation accessible. And they are offering a paperless option in traveling. E-tickets basically covered railway civil aviation, and we have made it more convenient for senior citizens to travel. Internet ride-hailing services are now available in more than 300 Chinese cities. And on average per day, more than 21 million hails are being made. In 27 provinces, we opened customized bus services to offer people door-to-door travel options. Fourth, we are offering more diverse transportation services. Intermodal transportation, linking air and rail, highway and air, are being promoted. Security check. People only need to pass security check once in rail and metro stations in many cities in China. In 2021, sea rail transportation of 7.54 million TEUs were transported. That was an annual average growth of 23.8%. Going forward, the MOT will continue to build a 1-2-3 national travel circle, that is 1-hour commute, 2-hour intercity commute, and 3-hour connection between major cities. We aim to build a modern, comprehensive network of transportation that is smooth, efficient, affordable, open, shared by all, and intelligent, so as to enhance people's sense of fulfillment, happiness, and security. Thank you so much for today's press briefing. Thank you.